Welcome to Sunday School for May 1st, 2022, for ages 12 to 14. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's memory verse is John chapter 9, verse 11. He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Our lesson scripture is coming out of John chapter 9, verses 1 through 17. The title of our story, The Rosa Parks Youth Activist Group. The Rosa Parks Youth Activist Group is preparing for its annual presentation night. The mission of the group is to teach young people how to change their community through various actions. This year, along with other activities, the young people will protest to bring prayer back into the schools and will join forces with the mayor of their town to extend more after-school programs. The goal of presentation night is to educate other young people about the group. The youth are preparing a skit that will depict the horrors of segregation during the Civil Rights Movement and the consequences of Jim Crow laws. This skit excited something in the group and sparked a discussion that took them away from the purpose of the night's events. I know it was difficult to live during the Jim Crow era, Tony, one of the group's members, explained. Those laws lasted from 1876 to 1965. I know that's right, Kim added. I can't imagine drinking from a water fountain with a sign at the top that said colored. And imagine this. Because of the Jim Crow laws, there were different facilities for blacks and whites. Brendan explained. Segregation dictated everything from where one could sit in a restaurant to what bathroom a person used. The black facilities were always horrible and inferior. Just think what it was like for the handicapped. I'm sure that facilities couldn't accommodate them, said Tony. And to make matters worse, the Jim Crow laws were constitutional laws, Kim said with frustration. Thank God for our heroes like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Medgar Evers, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, and so many others, said Brendan. They fought against those unjust laws and won. Our lesson scripture, beginning at John chapter 9, verse 1. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Jesus answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me, while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore and washed, and came seeing. The neighbors therefore, and they which before had seen him, that he was blind, said, Is not this he that sat and begged? Some said, This is he. Others said, He is like him. But he said, I am he. Therefore said they unto him, How were thine eyes opened? He answered and said, A man that is called Jesus made clay and anointed mine eyes, and said unto me, Go to the pool of Siloam and wash. And I went and washed, and I received sight. Then said they unto him, Where is he? He said, I know not. They brought to the Pharisees him that aforetime was blind. And it was a Sabbath day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Then again the Pharisees also asked him how he had received his sight. He said unto them, He put clay upon mine eyes, and I washed, and do see. Therefore said some of the Pharisees, This man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. Others said, How can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And there was a division among them. They say unto the blind man again, What sayest thou of him, that he hath opened thine eyes? He said, He is a prophet. Healing the blind man. The Jewish Sabbath is considered a holy day of complete rest. The Pharisees compiled a list of do's and don'ts for that day. Participating in any activity that day was considered a sin by the lawmakers, the Pharisees. Righteousness to the Pharisees was based upon following all the rules completely and absolutely. The laws were sometimes unbearable and unreasonable. It seemed as if the Pharisees cared more about following the rules than helping hurt people. What comes first? People's critical personal needs often outweigh the rules and regulations made by other human beings. How do we decide which priorities in life come first? Jesus put the blind man's need to see before the Jewish rules about Sabbath observance. The Rosa Parks Youth Activist Group was preparing to educate other young people about its organization. The presentation night event would address the unjust Jim Crow laws that lasted from 1876 to 1965 in the South. Just like Jesus' confrontation with the Pharisees and their unreasonable Sabbath day rules, many activists defied the rules that ignored human need, and the rules were eventually eliminated. How important is human need to you compared to rules and regulations? People values. The Lord is concerned about people in need far above anyone or anything else. Think of a plan in which your church can better serve and assist those in need in the community. The value of one person is far above everything, above anything. I'm going to repeat that. The value of one person is far above anything. Our lesson text for the week. Monday, the topic is Hope for the Future. Read Isaiah 29, verses 17 through 21. Tuesday, the topic is Separating Light from Darkness. Read Genesis 1, verses 14 through 19. Wednesday, the topic is Light for the Journey. Read Exodus 13, verses 17 through 22. Thursday, the topic is The Blind Questioning Blindness. Read John chapter 9, verses 18 through 23. Friday, the topic is Teaching the Unteachable. Read John chapter 9, verses 24 to 34. Saturday, the topic is Seeing but Not Seeing. Read John chapter 9, verses 35 to 41. Sunday, the topic is The Light of the World. Read John chapter 9, verses 1 through 17. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.